check this out. What we're trying to get you to see is, you can ask 1,000 people what love is, you get 1,000 different answers. That's right. You can ask 1,000 people what sin is, you get 1,000 different answers. That's right. Check this out. These definitions are in the Bible, the same Bible that we got away from. Now, God's love is different than the world love. So what you feel in your mind could be off. Not saying it is, but it could be off. So check this out. Let's read God's definition of love.
All right, but what I'm saying is, like, you love your wife, you love your family, you love other people, you love everybody differently.
Right.
Pretty
So love
much,
will be an answer.
You love everybody differently, pretty much. But if I'm just out here trying to be in the world, not of the world, if I'm just out here, like out every day, man, I'm walking by, I'm just trying to do good deeds because I'm trying to be a servant to someone else other than myself, and that's helping my Father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what is that? That's a command.
Well, I mean, it's still showing love.
No. Let's read. 2 John, verse 6. What's off this? Definition of love.
2 John, verse 6.
What's 2 John, verse 6?
And this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment that as ye have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it.
Now, 1 John. 1 John 2. 1 John 2. 1 John 2.
The word is love.
That's so if you're not giving a commandment,
it's wrapped in the same thing. If I'm trying to do the next right thing, and I'm full up.
What's the right thing in the world full of themselves?
Let me put this on right here.
If I'm trying to do the right thing every day, every hour, all my waking hours, and I'm trying to do the next right thing.
What's the right thing?
Let me say something before you go there with them. Right.
It's your heart. I mean, just because the world is full of these stuff don't mean your heart have to be.
So how can you know the exact interpretation of what love is? The world has been deceiving.
I ain't interpreting. You asked me what it meant to me, and I told
no, we asked you what love is.
Okay, well, I told
not
you.
what it means to you, what it is.
I told you though.
Bro, this the problem. The world
is following out these commandments, right? So let me ask you this, sir. If you out here every day, like you doing, like y'all doing right now, y'all following out this commandment, right? Okay. So if I'm doing the same thing every day, but I'm not standing here doing it, but I mean I'm just minding my business every day, but every day I'm not committing sin. I'm doing the next right thing.
Look, let me go
disobedient
back to the
against God.
Exactly.
We just asked you the commandments,
We just asked you the commandments.
Sin is the transgression of God's law. But you're saying if you don't sin, so how do you know what sin is?
I ain't saying. I'm finna go sin. I'm finna go sin in the way, and I know I'm wrong.
What you finna do?
That's sin.
Who told you that was a sin?
Who told you that was a
Sin
sin?
is the breaking of God's commandment.
That's not correct.
See, how do you know what's righteous in a world full of deception?
Exactly, bro.
I just figured.
Look,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gone. Look, I gotta go get my line, man. I'll be back. I gotta get my line, bro. I gotta hit this. Then I'm gonna hit the sin. Then I'll be back, man. It ain't sin.
All right, all praise to the Most High on the son. Another Shabbat day. The war drums are beating around the world. That's good, man. Good edification, man. Hey, that's what's up, bro. Come on back. We get it done. We get it done according to the script. War drums are beating according to the scriptures, according to the world. Time for Israel to wake up. We was going over a few of these commandments. Let's go ahead, since we in the spirit, let's go ahead and go to Mark 12 real quick, man. Mark 12, 28, 34. And break down, because a lot of people run here and think that excludes them from keeping the Lord's commandments. There's only two. And what you be hearing, there's only two. And what's one? Let's go ahead and break this on off.
I ain't hear nothing about no only.
Mark chapter 12, going to verse 28, brother. Let's get some understanding in this last hour while the war drums are beating and they off the coast of Syria, about ready to take Syria down. According to prophecy of the Bible, we on the brink of World War III. Utter destruction. It's about to get hectic. And the Negro don't have too much more time to keep stanky leg. Not at all. He ain't got too much more time left. All right, let's get it, brother. Mark 12, start at verse 28 for it.
Mark chapter 12, verse 28.
Yes, sir.
And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first commandment of all? And Yahweh Shai Jesus answered him.
Notice he said, what's the first commandment of all? He can say, what was the first one of the 10? First commandment of all. Come on, brother. Somebody answer.
The first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel.
Hear who?
Hear, O Israel.
He said the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel.
That's right.
That's what we're here to tell you. You are Israel. God's chosen vessel to bring forth his word, especially in these last days right here. So, us as a people are in the first commandment of all. He asked what was the first commandment of the 10. What is the first commandment of all? Hear, O Israel.
That's right.
It ain't just you hearing something and go in one ear and out of the other. Take it in. Meditate on it.
Right.
Reflect on what you heard.
That's right.
Hear, O Israel.
Right.
Come on, brother.
First of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel. The Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love thy Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment.
This is the first commandment. It said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, strength. You see that? So some people say, yeah, I do that, man. You know, that's easy. Is it?
Is it?
Is it? How you love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, body, and soul, and you still ducking the Christmas trees? That's an altar to another God in your house. How you love the Lord your God with all your mind, heart, body, strength, and soul, and you still doing Easter egg rituals? And got your little babies on Halloween dressed up like little Crips and Bloods and little hobgoblins. All these are commandments of men that are implied to worship. And then you attach them to Jesus the Christ in the Bible. You can't find none of these things in the Bible, so you already in violation of the first and greatest commandment of all, because you can't possibly be loving the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, body, soul, and strength, and you're flirting with other gods. You're involved in rituals to other gods. That's impossible. That's impossible. All right, come on, brother.
Mark, chapter 12, verse 30, verse 31. And the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. And the scribe said unto him, Well, master, thou hast said the truth, for there is one God, and there is none other but he. And to love him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself is more than all whole burnt offerings and sacrifices. And when Yahweh Shai saw, he answered discreetly. He said unto him, Thou art not far from the kingdom of Yahweh God.
But he told him, you ain't far from the kingdom. You see that? So those are commandments that Christ was teaching, not a religion. You hear religion today. And people in church on Sunday and thinking Christ was born on Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving and all these things you relate to the Son of God, and the Son of God ain't on record nowhere
Saying it at all.
saying or sanctioning that or saying that at all. He said, if you love me, you'll be keeping the commandments
Of the Lord.
You see that? And we don't even know. We in the midst of a great holy day called the memorial blowing of trumpets. See, if you was keeping the commandments of God, you would be keeping this feast day. In which we look forward to the trumpets of God going off in Revelations, preceding the return of the Son of God on earth and him conquering the earth. This is a high holy day. And we don't even know it. We just run around idle, twiddling our thumbs.
Thinking everything gonna be all right.
See,
Normalcy theory.
you think that, okay, all I gotta do is treat my neighbor fine. You done left off the Most High. The Most High say, love me with all your heart, mind, body, and soul.
That's first.
So the question is, how do you do that and you are still involved in rituals that involve other gods?
If you're spitting God face, you'll spit in your neighbor face.
Come on now, most of us don't love our neighbors ourselves. Most of us gossiping, plotting to steal from our neighbor, defaming their character, bearing false witness on them, trying to sleep with their women. You don't love your neighbors yourself, man. We as a people don't stop it, because come on now, we wouldn't be murdering each other, stealing from each other, none of that.
That's right.
So again, in the deception house called the church today, they got you thinking all you got to do is one commandment or two commandments. In essence, all Christ did was give you a summary of all the commandments.
That's right.
All the commandments are based off loving the Lord with all your heart, mind, body, soul, and strength, And the last half of the commandments is you loving your neighbors yourself.
That's right.
Remember, we are the chosen people of God, a holy nation. The children of Israel. When you read the Bible and you see Israel, Judah, Hebrew, Jew, it's talking about you as black folk here in America.
That's right.
And not only here in America, scattered all through the four corners of the earth. But the transatlantic slave trade is a key identifying marker of who God's people are. That wasn't no accident. That was prophecy.
Yes, sir.
You see that? Why? Because guess what? We took our eyes off the Most High, stopped loving Him with all our heart, mind, body, and soul, and then we start treating our neighbor as if they was heathens.
That's right.
Our fellow brothers as if they was heathens. So you need to know and apply the commandments if you want to get into the kingdom of heaven. That's just what it is. But see, we don't want to hear that today because we think they're done away with.
That's right. And who's teaching you that?
Who's teaching you that the commandments of God are done away with? Who teaching that? Grab Isaiah 8:20, one of the brothers. Isaiah 8:20. Then somebody grab Matthew 19, verse 16. You see what I'm saying? See, we dealing with the Bible, no other book. And the reason why we ain't dealing with no other book is because the Bible is the only book that has God-inspired prophecy in it, man. That spans the test of time, from the beginning to the end, down to them about to take down Syria. That was prophesied by Jeremiah the prophet and Isaiah the prophet thousands of years ago. And guess what? Your president got naval destroyers off the coast of Syria right now. See, so the Bible is a book of, read that real quick. Isaiah 17:1 for me, real quick, bro.
Isaiah, you said 1?
Yeah, Isaiah 17:1, real quick. 17:1, then we hit to Isaiah 8:20. See, what you don't know is you neck deep in prophecy. You at the time of the end in which the Son of God is about to return. But see, the preacher got you staying away from that, what they call the Old Testament. All the prophecies in the Old Testament has not been fulfilled yet.
That's right.
All of them haven't been fulfilled. Christ said, until all be fulfilled, until heaven and earth pass. Not one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law until all be fulfilled. All hasn't been fulfilled.
That's right.
The Messiah has not returned yet to conquer the earth. Israel has not been gathered. All 12 tribes have not been gathered back to the Most High and put back in their rightful inheritance. Think about it. They got you saying close the book, but you closing prophecy. And the spirit of Christ is the spirit of prophecy. You need to know prophecy.
Yes, sir.
To understand where you are at. You are at the time of the end. And if you knew that, you